Welcome back to Pop's Garage.
And thank you for joining us again. It's been a fantastic last show.
Oh, it was.
We had 270 views so far.
Yeah, and that's all down thanks to you guys. So thank you for coming and watching us.
1,700 hits on the website.
Well, that's impressive. So,
but we've had hits from as far away as America and New Zealand.
yeah. So good, eh?
Good news.
The old Coxpower.
That's it. Yeah, yeah. And it's all down to thanks to you guys. And we've got to say Happy New Year to you guys as well, because obviously we're now in 2018. So Happy New Year to you all.
So coming up on today's show, we'll be looking at compression tests.
Yep, and also we've finally convinced Welly to go on to 2 wheels for our island trip. So we're going to look at buying a 125 for her.
Not just that, but in the upcoming shows, we're also looking at going through the CBT process.
Yeah, so we get her through a CBT so we can get her on the road so she can actually join us in Ireland. Okay, so let's have a look at the, see if we can find a bike for her. So take it away, Pops. Was that you?
Probably.
Yeah, yeah.
It's just the way we try.
Phone's offset, you see. Okay, so the criteria is, as we said, is a 125 because we don't want to be too slow. So what else have we got?
Some 125s can hit good speeds.
Yeah, that's it. You're on 50. Come on.
Yes,
So,
but Tonto, some people enjoy riding a 50.
I swear, okay.
You enjoy riding a 250. Remember, I've got 1,000.
Yeah. Loves you, you see. Okay,
And a
so,
750.
So we want a 125. What type of styling does she want?
She, against our better judgment, she wants a sports bike.
Okay, sports bike. So sports styling and geared. Okay.
That's a bit different.
Yeah.
That's like a cafe racer style.
It is, isn't it? A bit.
Not too keen on the front end on that.
No. What else we got? So we want to do this sports. That's not really sports, is it? It's like calf racer.
So that would actually give you a good
style.
riding position, though, to be fair.
Yeah.
It's more of a commuter's position.
Yeah, it's a good idea bike if you use it every single day, maybe going to work and stuff like that.
Or to Ireland.
Yeah, or to Ireland. But, actually, looking at Lex Moto, that might be a good way to start. It's, if you pull up Lex Moto, so let's have a look at this one, see what we've got here. Yeah.
Hold this one here.
Yeah, digital.
Hold on.
Just because you're Pops. Digital.
Oh, hold the boss, baby.
You see,
That's
so
a nice bike.
yeah, that's quite a nice styling, that is, isn't it?
Yeah, I think that's the kind of thing she'd want.
Yeah.
But can she fit sprocket on the back?
That's the thing, yeah. Put a sprocket cage on the back of the bike.
I like these.
So if we can pull that up, let's have a look at that.
Guys, it's really important when you're looking at 125, look at the amount of miles that they've got on. Being a first bike, they tend to be quite high mileage, and with a lot of them, you can get 4 strokes and you get 2 strokes. So it's really important to make sure that whatever bike you get, it's been serviced regularly and it's been looked after.
And also, if you get what price range you're looking at on the bike. I mean, this one is set at 1,500, so you expect a bike in near on perfect condition on this sort of machine for that. It's a bit much for what we've got, so we need to drop the thing. But that's the sort of styling I think we need to look for.
May I just add as well, other auction sites are available.
That's it, yeah.
So I've been looking on another site, if you want to pull up that one, and this is fantastic.
Yeah, 300 quid, so nice cheap machine.
There we go.
It's not going to be perfect because
It's
300 quid.
Yeah.
But look at the nice styling. The engine on these, by the way, is based on the Honda CG and the CF, I think it was, isn't it? So it's a very reliable looking unit because, yes, it's Chinese, but a lot of the Chinese bikes are actually built very well.
Important to note as well, this one actually shares a heritage with the Cinis, so the parts are interchangeable.
Yeah, so it makes readily available. You'll notice some scratching on the cab. This is obviously where somebody's dropped it at the looks of it at some point.
That's just a sleeve.
Yeah, so very cheap and easy to replace. Anything else we can see on there?
So looking at this bike, this would be a bike that you would buy to do a few jobs and make a little bit of money on. Second-hand retail value on something like this, you'd probably look to pay about £600–700 in a good condition.
Yeah.
In a near-on perfect condition, obviously you've got anywhere up to £1,000. The general starting price on these is usually about £1,500 for a new model.
Yeah. So for 300 quid,
It's a bargain.
you could do that up quite nicely as a keeper, and if once you pass your test, push it on, and still make some money out of it. So I think we might actually we'll go and give this guy a ring, shall we?
Okay.
Yeah. So run it by the boss first to see what Welly says, and I think we're going to give this guy a ring, and we're going to have a look at this machine. Okay, go.
Ready? So, just pick this 125 up. This is going to be Welly's first bite.
Yeah,
So, just pick this 125 up. This is going to be Welly's first bite.
Managed to get it strapped nice and down, tight down underneath. Okay. Just as a hint, by the way, when you strap it down, like this with the handlebars, a little bit each side of the handlebars, that's all you need. Just go a little bit each side so you can press the forks down.
I'm not too keen on those on there, because if they slide,
They won't slide.
but if they slide, you blast the bite.
So that's the money. Did I say that on camera? Oh dear! So we've got Welly's Lex Moto here. We just picked, as you saw earlier, we picked it up. And one of the things is the indicator's broken. So we've got a nice new pair, or second-hand pair, in the box. So we're going to show you how to fit these. So the first thing you need to do is trace the wiring. Now the wiring, you can get it from two ways, is from underneath here and down here. And if you reach the back of the indicator, you can then find, I don't know if you can see that, the two wires off the indicator. And if you follow them down, you'll be able to unplug them. They go to a little plug, so you can unplug them and do them. So once the two wires are undone, we can then hold the nut on the back and unscrew the indicator. Okay, so once you remove the cable, follow the nut down the cable, pull it off, and then keep hold of the nut so it doesn't drop down into the belly pan, because then you've got fun and games. So put the nut on that one, because this indicator is actually okay, it's only the other side that's smashed. So put the nut back on there, because it'll always go as a spare. Okay, so this is the new one. Okay, so just undo the nut. Okay, so we got it like that. Then all we do is put these two wires back through the hole and feed the nut and the washer on once it's through the hole. So look at that and pull it up. If your wires are long enough to pull up to here, it's always easier to put the nut and the washer back on. Like that. Keep hold of the wires because you can't drop it. Then put your hand from underneath, pinning it in place, and then just screw the indicator into the nut. This is why we don't connect the wires first, you see, so you can turn it around and just tighten it up so it's into place like that. And then we just got to plug these two wires back into the orange and the green wire. We've done the nut up on the new indicator. We then pull the two wires back through, which you can see are just here, and we can put them in. So as we said before, it doesn't matter which way around they go, because it's a bulb and the bulb won't matter because it's isolated. So we just simply push them in like that, and it's as simple as that. Then we put that up onto the tag, because there's a tag on here to hold the wires back, bend the tag back, and there we go. That is how easy it is to change.
So what happens if you don't use the tag?
The wire will drop down into your forks and you've got a big mess.
Hey Tata, I wonder if the readers out there actually realise how many takes we actually do to do this one.
First take, every time, of course.
Yeah, right. Anyway, so great news. We've finally got Welly on two wheels.
Yeah, and just to prove it, here's a picture of Welly receiving the keys from the old owner.
That was a cold day.
That was a cold day.
It was a very.
It was
cold
actually
day.
snowing when we were strapping the trailer down, the bike down on the trailer.
Well, it's good because it helped us to identify how to strap a bike down correctly. It helped us, obviously, explaining how to purchase a bike correctly, going through all the checks, making sure you know what you're getting when you're getting it. But most importantly, we're now on the countdown to Ireland.
But there's one major thing that must happen before we get to Ireland. Forget checking the bikes, forget saving the money, forget booking the ferry. Welly has to do a CBT.
Yes, and fortunately, we think we might have come up with a company which is going to allow us to film her CBT.
Yeah, which means that you guys can see Welly doing their CBT, which gives you an experience on how it's done.
Yes, and not only that, it can take away a lot of the nervousness behind it, because if you can see exactly what you've got to prepare for and exactly what you've got to expect, I think it can only help.
Oh yeah, definitely. I mean, going onto two wheels is great fun. It's a great freedom, and it also is a cheap way of getting about. The mother-in-law herself uses, as we saw, her little scooter in last week's programme to get about on, and it gives her great freedom. Forget the buses, little scooter. And so you'll be able to see how easy it is to get onto two wheels.
So, which leads us on to our next project. So, we've got this bike, we can't get it to fire, we can't plug a code reader into it because it's just not suitable.
Yeah.
So,
we've checked the basics, fuel, air and ignition, all at present, still won't fire.
So we have to look deeper.
Yep, and the first step to do for any deepening step is compression test. It's box standard thing, because then that way you'll know exactly what's going on inside the cylinder.
So how would we do that then?
Okay, really easy to do a compression test. We use a simple compression test tool like this one. This one's really, really old. This one actually belonged to my dad, Mr. John Payne himself, and he actually used this on his own race cars. And with this one, it's very simple. All we do, pull the spark plug out, we push that into the hole, turn the engine over 3 times, and we take a reading off the dial there to see what the compression is in the cylinder.
Tonto, my engine on the YZF has got much deeper bores, so that wouldn't fit. So how would we get around that?
That's a bit of a problem then. Easy solved. Because what we do is we use a compressor tester like this one. This one has a flexi lead on it.
With an adaptable end.
Well, no, that's a fixed end on that one. You mean it's smaller than that?
Yes.
Okay, if it's smaller than that, we go to the next stage, which is, ta-da! It's like Blue Peter, this, isn't it? Here's one I prepared earlier. This one, exactly the same as these two. The only difference is now we have a lead and adjustable thread inserts for different size plugs. But note as well, look, you still have your pushing ones, so you can actually push it in if you can't find something to match the thread.
And a good Pops Garage tip, when you're using one of these fittings, just apply a tiny bit of thread lock as you put that in on this end, and that will help prevent it from seizing in the block.
Yeah, because the last thing you want to do if it's deep set socket is stick that in the block, because you're going to struggle getting it out.
Yeah.
Okay, so we do a compression test, and say for argument's sake it's a multi-cylinder engine, one cylinder's drastically down, or even on a single cylinder, drastically down. Now, you could say to your customer, or the owner of the bike, or even yourself, okay, that's broken, no compression. But why? Sounds more professional if you can say, there's no compression, this is the reason. And the way we can do that is 2 ways. If you've got something like this, you can do what we call a wet test, as you'll show us in a minute. And a wet test will allow us to see if the rings are gone. But that's all this will do. Very basic, really.
But on the other side of the coin, it shows the economic ability of the repair of the engine.
Yes, very easy to repair, but we still want to know what's
Exactly
gone
what's
wrong.
gone, yeah.
So we take it one step further, and what we do is we have a kit like this. This is going very professional now. And this one, ooh, smell the smell. This one is what we call a cylinder leak down tester. Very high tech. We basically plug an air line in here. We have our flexi lead here, look, which we then have the adapters to screw into the block. And we fire compressed air into the engine. When the compressed air goes in, technically it should stay there. Okay, so these 2 gauges will read full compression. If this gauge suddenly drops to 0, there's a problem.
But wouldn't there be a problem anyway?
They would, but this is a clever thing now. When that gauge drops to 0, you're still pumping compressed air into it. So now, you listen to the carburetor, if you can hear the air coming out the carb, then inlet valve stuck open or burnt out. If the air's coming out the exhaust valve, easy. If the air is coming out the radiator cap, head gasket. And if it's coming out the oil filler, that's the rings. So straight away with this tool, I'll be honest, it's not cheap, but with this tool you can instantly tell now what has gone wrong with that engine. So when you're stripping it down, you know exactly what job you're going to do when you're repairing it. So very easy. So shall we go over now and you show them how to do the compression test?
Yeah, I think we need to do that in the Virago.
Okay, so we're going to take you over to the Virago. We're going to use the Virago rather than that beast in the corner that don't want to play, purely because it's easier for you to see what's happening while Spanners does the compression test on the Virago. Okay. So let's go over.
Cool. So to perform a compression test, we screw the hose into the head where the spark plug goes, and then we fire it over 3 times. Pops. Yep, that shows that we've got good compression. Secondly, we'll do a wet test. The purpose of doing a wet test is to determine whether it's the rings that are at fault or not. So we unscrew this from the head, let's say, and then we put 2 squirts of oil into the chamber. Now it's really important that you get it right in the hole. There we go. Thanks, Pops. And then we screw this back in. And then we repeat the procedure 3 times, please, Pops. And again, shows really good compression, so we know there's no problems with that chamber. Take my word for it, though. What do you think, Sprague? Yeah.
Okay, so there we go. That's how to do a simple compression test. Works on any engine, and it's got to be a way forward.
How easy was that?
Yeah.
I mean, let's be honest, guys. Why would you put yourselves in the position where you would overlook a test that easy?
Yeah, because that will tell you straight away whether you need to strip the engine down for losing compression or not, straight away. So it's a very simple fault find.
Well, yeah, because I mean, if you actually take it to its core components, one of the first checks you do is your spark plugs.
Yeah, and you can actually pick up something like this for a couple of quid.
Oh yeah, they're dirt cheap. Yeah.
No easy. It doesn't matter how accurate it is, as long as it gives you a reading.
Yeah. But the thing is, I mean, you guys saw just how easy it was for us to perform that test, and like I said, it gave us the confidence to know that that engine's good.
Yeah. We'll show you more of why we did what we did with the Derby next month.
Yeah.
Because that's the bike we were having the problems with. So, and we'll show you what the fault was. We'll keep you in suspense till then.
And go through the procedure on how you at home you could do this on a budget.
Yeah, very much so. So also we've got coming up on the next show, we're going to show you the Virago. We're getting on along swimmingly with that one now. For those that haven't checked out the website, we'll be showing you what we're doing with the Virago and getting it all into its finished state.
Yeah, I've been quite busy with the old paint cans recently.
Yes.
So
It's looking very, very smart. I mean, she's sitting there in all her glory. Look at that, beautiful.
And she's going to be one of the vehicles we're going to be taking to the Practical Classic show.
Yeah, so if you've not booked your tickets, why not? Stand 375 or 5375 is where we'll be. So please do come over and see us and say hello.
You can also get a discount if you buy through us.
Yes, so look at the code which will be on our website, and when you book your tickets, give that code and it will knock some money off for you. It's always worth saving money.
Definitely. But we're on countdown.
Yes, because we've got Ireland coming up. So not only are we prepping ready for the show, we've also got Ireland coming up, and we've got to get the bikes ready. Talking of which, the main bike we've got to get ready is my old GPX. We've done the Thunder Race. Ali's bike is almost ready. We've just got a couple of little more fiddly things to do to it. But my trusty old 250 GPX, she's using oil and using water. So it looks like we've got to do an engine build on her.
And not just that though, but I mean at 55,000 miles, it's due a bit of love.
Yeah. I mean, she's a good old girl. She's been stood outside, what, 4 months?
5 months.
5 months in all that horrible, wet, windy, rainy, snowy weather we've had. Bit of a cover over, of course. And went to her with the key, put the key in, fired straight up.
Yeah, but Tonto, this was the bike you did the Isle of Man on.
Yes. This is my Isle of Man bike we're talking about here. So the bike has been round the TT course.
So apart from obviously the work we've got to do to rebuild, we're also doing it on a tight budget.
Yep, tight budget, tight scale, and making it look good.
Yeah, so it ties into our values of restoration, preservation and conservation.
And pocket cost.
Yes, definitely. So what we're going to be doing, we're going to be putting some before and after pictures up of the 250
Yep.
on the website. For those who haven't already looked at the website, please check it out. It's very informative and it's building every week.
Yep, and we've got a couple of videos on there as well now on how to do things. I think we've got the brake test, brake drum test, and also for those that have missed it, the code reader. So do have a look and
the sprocket outtakes.
Oh yeah, and the sprocket outtakes. Sprocket, for those that may have for some reason forgot, is our little Welsh puppy. We're hopefully soon going to have a sprocket cam, so Sprocket will show you his idea of running around the workshop and what he's up to.
Yeah, so thank you for tuning in, guys.
Yeah, and until next month, we'll see you in March. But from me, no, February. I'm jumping the gun here.
Yeah.
February.
So,
It's a stress. So much to do, so little time, and I'm making even less time.
I know, tell me about it.
I think I need to go and have a lie down now.
And a stiff cup of coffee.
Yeah, that's it, yeah. So from me, and from you,
thank you, and we'll see you again soon.
take care guys, bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Mm-hmm.